It's a no-brainer, really. Scores of crowds gather to give in to their greed and tear into one another in order to get a few shekels taken off of an item that had its price hiked up in the first place. Of course, someone would eventually put a horror spin on it. So come on, the doors are opening. It's time for Black Friday. Stay safe, shoppers. Welcome back to ML Miller Frights. I'm ML Miller. Before we begin, please do me a favor and punch that like button down below. Share this video with all of your social media addicted pals. Click subscribe to this channel and ring that bell for notifications. Black Friday is new on demand and digital download. It's directed by Tebo and written by Andy Greskoviak. The world is being pelted with strange meteors that take over people's minds and cover their bodies with pulsating pustules. But no one notices because everyone is lined up at the local toy mart to take advantage of the low prices for Black Friday. The team of workers, including depressed schlub Chris, played by Ryan Lee, jaded cashier Marnie, played by Ivana Baquero, man-child divorcee Ken, played by Devon Sawa, tough stockroomer Archie, played by Michael Jai White, and plucky manager Jonathan, played by Bruce Campbell, not only have to take on the rabid, frothing customers, but they also have to take on meteor-infected, rabid, frothing customers. As meteor monsters roam the aisles, the employees must use their wits, the toys around them, and their hatred towards their lives and jobs to survive. I really want to say Black Friday is the new holiday horror classic that I could recommend to watch and rewatch every year around this time to celebrate the holidays in your own creepy way. Unfortunately, Black Friday feels more like an undercooked turkey, a gift bought in an airport, an e-card sent 3 weeks late, an afterthought, a lazy endeavor. The elements are there, and I understand why the truly impressive cast were attracted to the project. But the main problem is that none of the characters are developed past their basic job responsibility and maybe one more surface trait like tough black guy, regimented rule follower, ass-kissing assistant manager, head in the clouds cashier, and so on. Sure, this worked for Office Space, but they also had characters with a few more inches of depth as central characters. Here, this light glazing of character doesn't make the cast likable, it makes them forgettable. One would think Black Friday would feel like an alternate universe where Bruce Campbell stayed at S-Mart and decided to kick dead-eyed ass on a daily basis. Unfortunately, Campbell and the script he has doesn't allow for that. Campbell is simply playing the overly nice manager who secretly hates his life. I can imagine a script where Campbell's manager character looks at his employees and sees himself in all of them, urges them to do more, move on, get motivated, and don't forget to do a good job. Campbell could have recognized that stuck-in-the-mud motivation of Sawa's character, the eager-to-please ass-kissing of the manager, the pride of the six-time employee of the month, and the directionless course his younger employees are on, and offered up some kind of wisdom. But that's a better-written character for a better film. Instead, he bitches about corporate and hides in the manager's booth. Campbell's a supporting player here, definitely not the star of the show. And that's too bad, because he's really going to be the draw for this one. For the most part, this is a film that attempts to connect with the audience by giving them a familiar, banal situation and then tossing it into chaos. Unfortunately, Black Friday needs an example of that typical soul-chipping day first, and then have the horror happen. Because of the immediacy of the film's time frame, there really isn't room for that to happen. Had Black Friday gone back a day, shown the crew slogging through prep for the big sale, and giving everyone in the cast a chance to breathe and develop, it would have been good for the story, but I guess it would have made for a long time without the horror appearing. Or maybe have our leads so exhausted when they leave work late and wake up early that they're oblivious to the world falling apart around them, a la Shaun of the Dead. It might have made for a greater point. But because we never really see what a normal day-to-day working at a toy store during the holiday is, a crucial piece of the story is missing. Let's move on to aisle 9, where we find special effects. The effects lack punch. I can't appreciate the practical effects, but they lack any kind of distinctive look. The creatures look to be just a random collection of sores and blisters covered in KY. None of the creatures have a uniform look, just a globby mess of what was close and on hand in the effects truck. The final monster is cheesy, and it's played in a fun way, but still lacks a definitive shape and form. Even the initial meteor, an undulating blob with tubes and bladders, looks messy, and the biology just doesn't seem like it was considered at all. For some reason, the monsters have pointy teeth, but they also have a large projectile tongue thingy that attaches to the face of the victims to transfer the virus. None of it seems to be well thought out, and the parts don't really fit together. I used to work at a toy store when I was in college. I put myself through days of torture interacting with snotty kids, horrible parents, finicky collectors, and every type of obnoxious customer you can imagine. This is a film made for me to identify with, and I guess I did in some way, but there really isn't any interaction with any of these customers other than after they become infected with this meteor virus. I've been hard on Black Friday because it failed to live up to its premise, and too many films are doing that these days, as if nothing was developed past the pitch. Black Friday goes the tried and true comedy route that was exemplified so well in Office Space, and goes all the way back to Caddyshack. It offers a glimpse behind the sad curtain and shows that the daily grind is real. Unfortunately, it feels like making this film was a grind. It feels rushed through production in order to be released on Black Friday. The jokes lack punch and don't have any follow-through. The characters lack depth. The effects lack oomph. The story bones lack a solid structure. Black Friday, I guess, is a solid time waster. I'll give it that. I got a chuckle or two out of it. But it should have been so much more. It's fun seeing Campbell, White, and Sawa, but they're really not doing anything interesting or memorable here. Like the listless employees of the Toy Mart, Black Friday simply shows up and does its job, but not an inch more.
Now, it's up to you whether or not you want to just do the bare minimum, or, well, like Brian, for example, has 37 pieces of flair on today, okay? A terrific smile.
As is, Black Friday is wearing the bare minimum pieces of flair.
You know, the Nazis had pieces of flair, but they made the Jews wear them.
I don't really like talking about my flair.
That'll be it for today. Please chime in down below in the comments and let me know how on the nose or mind-numbingly wrong I am, or you can counter with your own review. So guys, you know how YouTube works. I'd love to be able to dedicate more time to this channel. I'm not monetized yet, so if you want to help me out, remember to hit all the pertinent bells and whistles down below. Want some spooky comics to read? I have 2 new horror comic book trade paperbacks you should look out for. Both Gravetrancers and Pirouette, collecting never-before-published issues, can be found in only the finest of comic book shops. If you're looking for written reviews, you can find them on my website, mlmillerwrites.com. If you really want to show your support, I also have a Patreon page at mlmiller. Look for the link to my Patreon page down below. Thank you so much for your time, and take care.
You're doomed to live the life you're meant to be, stuck inside your reality. You're doomed. Oh, you're doomed. You're doomed. You're doomed. Live the life that you are meant to be. Live inside.